Now, I'm going to start with the date, which is 24th of April 2019. The time I'm going to read off the screen, which is 1941. Don't like it at work, innit?
Yeah.
So, we haven't really done any sort of intention settings, have we, Beck?
No. Now we are.
Kind of just left it up to me, really. So, I'm thinking, we had a discussion, didn't we? I'm thinking something fun and interesting.
Okay.
But also relevant to lots of people who will be watching, which probably going to be something around anxiety.
Okay, that's fine.
And then we'll see where it takes us. So yeah, is that okay?
Yes.
Cool. Bruh. Phone's off, isn't it?
Yeah. Think so, yeah. Yeah.
Find out if you ring. Right, cool. Okay, so
Kiddo.
fall asleep if you want.
I'm really tired today.
I should wake you up if you do. Right, okay, so we've got our intention formed. My intention formed. So, yeah. So what I haven't got?
What?
Music.
Oh no. Probably be alright without it right
Probably.
now, but no, we should.
But it's a bit of a habit of
It
mine,
is.
isn't it? So
Yeah, we need it.
We do.
Yeah, it's my favourite little tune now.
Yeah. Well, it's Macy DC.
Huh.
Just looking just there.
So tired.
And it's never loud, it's just
Nice and gentle.
and it only lasts an hour. That, so it'll run out, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Before we hold it through.
Okie dokie.
So, just close your eyes. So when you're ready, just go through that door, past light, on the side when you're there. Just tell me where you are, what's happening.
I'm in I'm in a battlefield. Covered in blood. I'm not injured, but I am hurting other people.
Are you dressed for battle?
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
Big boots. They're all wet. I'm not very good in all the wet seeping in. Feet are all wet. Covered in mud up to my knees. And the clothing is very uncomfortable. It's got a lot of pockets on it. And I've got all things in all the different pockets. Different weapons all over me. I've got a big knife strapped to my leg. I've got grenades. I've got 2 grenades in this pocket. I've got a big gun with a knife on the end of it, and I tend to use the knife bit more than the actual fun. Seems like it's easier to just stab people through the chest to get rid of them.
I see. And why are you fighting?
It's a war.
And who are you fighting against?
The Germans.
What part of the world are you?
France.
Do you have a name?
I'm 17. My name's John William. I feel like some people call me Jack for some reason.
And do you know what part of France that you're in?
The song, I think. I don't want to be here.
No. How long have you been there? Fighting?
4 months? I don't really know. A long time. It's like hell.
Do you know what year it is, John?
Was it 1918, I think? I lost track. I feel like I'm going insane. I'd rather turn this gun on myself than other people.
And why are you covered in blood?
It's other people's blood. I feel sick.
Is there anyone with you?
There's loads of people here, but they're everywhere. There's people just coming at me from straight ahead and I'm charging towards them. And it's just like a pure panic and I feel like I just want to just run off. Just kill myself. I don't want to do this anymore. It's like a pure panic. And I keep stabbing these guys, stabbing these men.
How does that make you feel?
I just feel like my whole body is shaking and just that much adrenaline that it's out of control, and I don't know how I feel until later if I'm still alive. Usually after days like this, and I go back and then I sit there and I try and reflect on how I feel, but sometimes I just feel numb and I feel like I'm going insane. I don't feel anything mentally or emotionally. I just feel like my whole body is overrun by adrenaline, shaking. It's the most extreme nerves that I've ever felt. try and have a sense of humour, but I can't have a sense of humour about this.
No. And tell me about how you got to France.
I was in a big truck in the back with loads of other men. And then we came on a boat, but I don't like boats. So that was scary enough. And the whole time I've just been terrified. And some of the other men, they're all charged and angry and ready to go, and I'm not like that.
I see.
I don't want to be.
No. So which country are you from?
England. Wiltshire, I think.
Tell me about your family.
My dad's dead. I left my mum with the children. She's got more kids, they're all younger than me. And that's all I can see, all I can see is my mum standing on the doorstep of the house, just looking at me as I left with the baby, my baby sister in her arms. Just can't stop seeing it.
What's your sister's name?
I can't even think. Just in such a panic all the time that I don't think any thoughts. Just extreme shaking of the body. It's horrible.
Are you attached to any army unit or any fighting force? Do you know the name of?
Yeah, it's just the Wiltshire regiment. I just came from there straight to here. There was talk of me. We were supposed to go to London, but we didn't. We just came straight here. I think that I'm having like a breakdown, or sometimes I can't speak, and when I go back at night and all the men are around, it's like I can't speak, and all I can do is just cry, and I just rock backwards and forwards for hours, and then it all starts again.
John, I'd like to roll forward now to the next really significant part, if you like. When you're there, just tell me where you are.
I'm on the battlefield again. And there's a man right in front of me, and we both looked at each other, and it was like a sort of recognition that we both didn't want to die. And so we were both poised right in each other's face, but neither of us did anything. And we're just looking into each other's eyes, and it's kind of like, who's gonna go first? Which of us is gonna die? And I can tell that he doesn't want to die, and I just got this feeling that he's got children at home, this German guy, and he's just looking at me like really intense, and that there's all people around us screaming and hurting each other, and we're just standing there in the middle of the field just staring at each other, and just it was only a moment, but like looking into his eyes was like, felt like a really long time. And so same as always, my whole body is shaking, and all I can feel is like my heart absolutely pounding. If you ever think your heart has pounded, it really hasn't. Not like this.
So what happens now?
In a split second, I decide that I'm just gonna turn on my heel and run away as fast as I can. I can't kill him, and he can't kill me. And like all the humanity inside of you just wants to take this man for a pint. We're just going to talk about his kids, you know. I like people, I don't want to kill people. So I ran back, and I collapsed on the floor, and I was screaming, can't do it, can't do this anymore. I'm covered in mud, all my face is covered in mud, so much that even the mud's going in my eyes. And I just lie there, crying, just screaming. And then they come and some of the others come and pull me away, back into a trench, and then I just lie there, my back, staring at the sky.
What can you see? What can you hear?
Screaming, just deathly screams, and there must be some birds somewhere because I can hear them, but whether I'm just imagining that, I don't know, because my mind keeps creating things that aren't there, and the sergeant keeps telling me that I'm losing it. I don't think there would be any birds here,
No.
because it's too loud and dangerous. I don't think animals would come around here, but I'm looking up into the sky, just flat on my back in the mud, and I can hear birds, but I don't think it's real. I don't think there is birds here.
And what are you feeling?
I feel like I've lost every tiny part of my soul that existed is gone. And I'm a shell. And I'm just a body. I don't feel like a human anymore. I don't know what's happening. I think I've gone insane. But I think this is enough to drive any man insane. Maybe it's justified insanity, but in the trenches at night, I see my granddad and he walks towards me through all the other men, and I'm like, and I start speaking to him, and everyone tells me that he's not there, but he is. And they all tell me I'm losing it and tell me I've a bit of whiskey and sit down, shut up. He is there, he's there. He's come, he tries to come to save me at night. But he's dead, he's not alive. But I miss him from when I was a kid. I used to live with him, with my mum. And he comes back to try and get me out of there. But it never works. He never gets me out. Every day I have to wake up and do the same again, if I sleep. Try and kill all these men. But one thing about the Germans is they're really good looking people. And they, like just now, when I was looking into that man's eyes, they've all got like really blue eyes, nice eyes. And once you see the eyes, you can't kill them.
No.
And that's the key. That's the key. You can't kill them if you look in their eyes. So it's best if you don't look in their eyes, and then you can kill them. But I don't want to kill them anymore. My whole body is shaking, and I don't understand how I can go from the nice life I had growing up, and it was so nice, and got a massive family, and very happy and jokey and loving, and to come from that to come here, I don't understand what this is. I don't know why we're doing this, but I wanted to be an artist. Yeah, I think I'll be really happy doing that. Maybe I might go back one day, and maybe it'll happen, and I try and stay sane and think about that, and the other lads, that's what they tell me. They just keep saying, just think about when we can go home and you can be an artist. Just think about that. Just think about that. Just keep thinking about that. And that works a little bit to bring me back and keep me going. It keeps me going if I obsessively think about that. But then when I keep thinking about that, my thoughts, if I keep thinking, when I go home I could be an artist, when I go home I'll be an artist, when we go home everything will be okay. And when I do that, then it's like the thought pattern keeps going and going and going and going, and then that starts making me rock, and it makes me breathe really fast, and then I feel like I can't breathe, and then I feel like my heart's pounding, and so I can't do anything because my body is having such extreme reactions to everything around me. My body is just in a constant state of panic, just panic, and there's nothing I can do to stop any of this that's going on around me. There's nothing I can do to get out. There's nothing I can do to stop myself feeling insane. I've tried everything, and the other lads, they keep trying to help me, but nothing's working. Nothing's helping me. Nothing.
Okay, John. I'd like to now just roll forward now to the next really important part of your life. Could be a point of passing on from your life to the next, or not. When you're there, just tell me what's happening.
So I made a decision, and I feel much calmer now. So I made a decision that I'm going to kill myself. And I didn't think that I could do that because of my mum, but she'd be better off without me. There's no way I can go home after this. I'll never be the same person that she knew anyway. So I don't want to go home now because I know that I don't want her to see me like this anyway. Because I am insane, and I know I am. So, and I mean, there is other lads having the same reaction as me, but not this bad. Some of them got injured and got sent home, so they got saved. But I haven't been that lucky. Because I'm actually really good at killing people, funny enough. I'm very fast. And as long as I don't look into their eyes, then I can kill them before they even get a chance.
Yeah.
Because I'm very fast, I'm very fit. So I made a decision, one way or another I'm going to kill myself, and I won't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to do it in the moment, and I've got all the weapons on me. And when I feel the time is right, I will do it. So I became really calm, few days, and one day was really bad weather, so we didn't fight. It was raining a lot, so I just sat and felt how peaceful it would feel to be dead, and then I was peaceful all day, and I didn't have any breathing problems or no rocking, and I even ate a bit of chocolate as well, which then like some very small little packet they send sometimes, and I never eat, so that was a sign that I was peaceful, is that I could eat, because before I couldn't eat because I was so nervous all the time. My body would not accept food, my stomach would not accept food. So on the day of battle, when the rain was calmed down, still very muddy, I went out and I walked, didn't run, just walked really calmly, and the first German man that I came across, he looked at me. I don't know why, but the Germans, they like to look you. I don't know if they're trained like that.
Yeah.
I think they're trained to look you dead in the eye, so that it stops you in your tracks, because that seems to be their tactic. So he was running straight towards me, and I was just walking, and I think he thought I was going to be an easy target because I obviously look strange because I'm just walking.
Yeah.
I'm not like everyone else running and screaming, and so he came straight for me, and as he was running towards me, he was looking me dead in the eyes, and I think they might try and use that as intimidation. Maybe they train that way, but that's always what gets me, because when I look into their eyes, I see a human being. So at this point, if I was going to fight, I'd usually try and focus on another part of his body, so his chest. So he'd be looking at me, running towards me. I'd charge towards him, got my bayonet ready, and just focus on the chest, focus on the chest, focus on the chest, bang, straight into the chest. And I'm really quick, but I didn't do that this time. I got it ready, got it ready. I thought, shall I shoot? And I thought, nah. And everything went into slow motion. And I thought, shall I turn it round on myself, stab myself? But then I thought, I've kind of tried it before to see what manoeuvre I would do to kill myself, but to get it was quite long. To get it from one direction into this direction, quite awkward with the body movements. I'm very conscious of body movements since being here. So he was running towards me, looking into my eyes, so I looked straight back into his eyes, and he was really getting close to me now. Yeah. And everything felt like it was in slow motion. And so I looked him dead in the eye, got my gun and went bang, shot myself through the head, put it straight into my mouth. I'd already practiced what would be the best. I practiced with my own weapons of what would be the best way to kill myself, and that was the best I could come up with. So I looked him dead in the eye, got my gun, put it in my mouth, pointed it as up as I could towards the middle of the brain, and just pulled the trigger.
So what happens now?
Well, I was dead instantly. But I've come out of my body and I don't feel like a whole soul. Very strange. I feel like the trauma is still in the soul. And I'm kind of annoyed at myself now in spirit form, because now I know that I traumatised this bloke and shocked him. Because it was a weird thing to do. To look dead into his eyes and then shoot yourself in the head. That shocked him. So now, when I was in my human body, I didn't know this, obviously, but now in my spirit form, I know that I've got karma with this German bloke now, and I'm going to have to go back and repay him for the trauma that I caused him that day. Still feel like very heavy as a soul after that life. I don't know. It was a very traumatizing life. And I don't know why I chose to go through that. It was to experience mental illness.
So what will you do now?
It's kind of like I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to leave this battlefield. But I'm so shaken and traumatized still, even in spirit form, that I can't leave the battlefield. So for days I'm kind of just hanging around this battlefield, like, I suppose, like haunting it like a ghost.
Yeah.
And I can't seem to leave this place. I keep trying to leave. I can't get out. It's like I'm trapped because of the trauma. But there's so much pain and horrible suffering that I don't want to be here, so I'm trying to get away to get out.
Sure.
So I need to try and find my way back home, to go back. So I was, after a few days in Earth time, and also I could kind of feel the lads, they really also felt a shock and a trauma of what I did. And because he found me, because I wasn't that far away from you. I wasn't miles in to battle or anything, I was right on the edge. So So they found my body, and obviously because of the skull and all that, they knew what I'd done. And it's kind of like their shock and their trauma combined with my shock and my trauma is keeping me bound here. It's like I'm bound, like I can't leave. So I flirt around for a few days. I was trying to get out. And then eventually I just start trying to gather strength again. Some of my strength is coming back, some of my energy. And I just call on my ancestors and my soul family, like, come and get me out, come and help me get away and break away from this realm. Because I'm trapped. And it takes a bit of time, but eventually my granddad's soul is here and he comes to get me. But it's kind of like he has to, in spirit form, he has to like transfer some of his energy into me. And then I'm able to be light enough to be lifted up. There wasn't light enough before.
So what do you do now?
Go back into the light where all my soul family are.
Just describe that place to me.
There's white, there's no buildings, there's no anything, nothing, it's just energy. But it's kind of like, I'm so heavy with the trauma that I can't get in, they won't let me in. Because I'm not vibrating high enough to reach the light. So they can't let me in. So my granddad, his soul says, you're gonna have to go back and you're gonna have to live a nice life now to recover and get your soul fragments back. That's what he said. But I can still feel in my spirit body the shaking. It's like a vibrating, a really heavy electrical current in my spirit form, and it runs all through, and I think that means that I've got soul shock. Have you ever heard of soul shock?
No.
It's like people with PTSD and very extreme anxiety brought on through trauma. They've got soul shock because the energy of what they've experienced was so dense, so horrific, it took all of the good energy out of their soul.
I see.
And they call it soul shock because it happens in an instant like that when you experience a trauma. And in your human body, when you take in a sharp, deeper breath, say like if you witness a car accident and you see someone just get bludgeoned or you see someone get crushed, the image will just make you go
Yeah.
Your human body reacts like that. And at that moment, that's when your soul can go into soul shock and it can fragment. And little bits of your soul will try and escape. I don't know why. I don't understand it yet. Gotta learn more about it. My granddaddy says I've got to go back, and I can either, because they won't let me go into the light, because me like this, in this state of vibration, I'm quite dense and quite dark. If we describe it in colours, dark and light, the source, home, whatever you want to call it, heaven, whatever you want to call it, is pure white, bright light, and it's pure, and it feels like joy, and it vibrates in a complete state of peace and harmony. But how I am as a soul, I've got grey patches in my soul and black patches, if we describe it in colours.
Sure.
So I've got a darkness in me in terms of vibration, and I cannot take that darkness into the light. It's not allowed.
No.
I will contaminate it. It's just not even physics, not even energetically possible, because I can't go in there. I just can't go in there. So, in effect, yeah, I can't get into heaven.
So, do you do...
I'll speak to my granddad, he's on the outside with me. He's going to go back after. So, he says I've got two choices. I can go back and have a really nice life, peaceful life, and try to regain some of my strength as a soul and some happiness. I could be anyone I want and have a nice family, love. That love will raise me back up again. And also having a family will raise me back up again.
Sure.
Or I can go back and do this agreement with the German man, but that's going to be another traumatic life, because we're gonna have to play out something quite horrible, because it's not a nice thing that I did to him.
No.
Because even though I caused the soul shock in him,
I see.
so I don't think I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready. I can't do it. I can't do that. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna have a nice life. I want to be a man again, and I'm gonna be an artist, and I'm gonna have a wife, and the wife is gonna be my mum from the last life, because she missed me, and they didn't tell her though. The army didn't tell her that I'd killed myself.
They didn't?
No. So there's no karma there, because she just thought I was killed in battle.
I see.
So there was honour, not shame. Nobody knew what I did. None of my soulmates knew what I did, so... Yeah, and the children are going to be all my soulmates, so my baby sister from my last life is going to be one of my children. My granddad, he's agreed, he wants to come to help me. He's going to be my dad, and we're going to have a good, close relationship. And it's going to be a nice life where I get married, have a family, go to art school, and get a job in New York. But then I'm going to decide not to go to New York, because I want to marry my sweetheart, and I'm going to stay, and I'm going to get a nice job in the bank, and I'm going to still carry on doing my art on the side, and I'm going to do local like exhibitions of my artwork, and all the local people in the town really support me and all love me, and I'm going to try and use this life to have a nice time and recover from this one, the last one. Try and gain back a bit more strength. And then if I succeed and if I manage to get to a loving vibration, which I should if I have a loving family life, that's one of the best ways to sort of get your vibration up as children. Having children and experiencing unconditional love, that's the best way to get yourself light again, get rid of your dark patches in your soul. That's the only way I can describe it for you. I'll have to use colours. But there isn't colours at all, it's just energy. So I'll do that next. And then I think after that life, as long as I succeed and bring up my light quotient again, then I'll be able to get back to source again. And when you get back to source, you get fully sort of healed. The soul gets healed. When you're in the light, the soul gets healed. But you still have agreements and karma and contracts with people. But they don't have to happen straight away, because if I had another option, okay, so I could go straight back to Earth and incarnate again. Either there's two options of lives with the German man karma, or like, but that will probably involve some sort of murder or something that's not going to be very nice, or some sort of payback. Don't want to do that yet. I will have to do it eventually, but I don't want to do it yet. And then the other option was to go and have the family, which I've chosen with all my soulmates. But then the other option is, if I didn't want to go back to Earth, I can float around in what you'd call the fourth dimension, because I'm not allowed to go back into the light. I'm not allowed to go back to source. So I can float around still in spirit form, but it's still not very nice. It's not a very nice place. It can be quite, because there's all sorts of different beings here. All sorts. There's what you'd call, I don't know how to describe any of it to you, but there's what you'd call like haunted souls, trapped souls that are in a lot of pain.
Are they in a similar situation to you?
Yeah, I'm a trapped soul. So I can't stay in spirit form because it's just not going to be very nice. It's going to be nicer. The best option is to go back to Earth and have this family and be the artist that I wanted to be before. So I'll be doing that next.
Okay. Can you get there now?
Yeah. In this state, I can live a whole lifetime in a split second.
Can you take all the healing energy from that?
Yeah. It was a very nice life. Very family and friends orientated, nothing particular of note bad happened, apart from your average, you know, your parents dying when they're elderly, that kind of thing. accidents, no injuries, no children dying, no terminal illness.
And how is your energy?
So much better.
How do you feel?
Peaceful. It takes a lot to recover from really bad lifetimes. It takes a lot, and it's so hard. I still don't think I'm still light enough to get into the source again. But I'll just go and live another nice lifetime again. And so before we start this session, Tom, we set the intention of finding out about anxiety. And I'll explain to you now. When a soul has had a traumatic lifetime or something, there's a number of different options, but let's use this one as an example. I was a highly traumatized human, developed a severe mental illness, and not really a mental illness, I was just a traumatized soul, you know? Traumatized.
Yeah.
So, you see, when you reincarnate after a life like that, you've still got elements of that trauma. It's within your soul. So you can carry the energy of the trauma into the next life. You see, in the next life, where we had a nice little family and I was a painter, I was a very nervy person.
I see.
And I had no reason to be a nervy person. And I suffered a lot from a nervous tummy. So I would get diarrhea if I was like having a big meeting at work. Before the meeting I would be all anxious, pent up, and I'd have physical reaction like diarrhea, feeling sick, palpitations for no reason. Just before, you know, a simple meeting the souls that I worked with in that life were my soulmates, and we were very loving relationships. Not like I had a horrible boss or anything, because I didn't choose any of that. There was no reason whatsoever in any of that lifetime for me as a human being to be a nervous character. There was no trauma in that life, but I carried over the nervousness and the trauma from my previous life. So that nervousness was actually in my soul, and it was seeping out through the physical body in that lifetime. And if I'd have had a major shock, like say if I'd have been diagnosed with cancer, or like one of my kids died or whatever, then I could have developed a full-blown panic sort of disorder from nowhere, like just overnight like that.
Yeah.
That's because the remnants of the trauma from the previous life was still in my energetic field. So, say if you have a child or a baby and it's really quite a whingy baby, or it's not a happy baby and it's kind of nervous of people, small child that's like suspicious of people, whatnot, and you think, I've socialised this child so much, and you know, there's no reason for this child to be wary of people, or, you know, as a parent you can think that about your child sometimes, as other kids are so social and run around and they're happy and playful, and sometimes you get that nervous kid that sort of sits there and doesn't really interact with the other kids, and babies that cry constantly and they're not ill and you don't know why. Troublesome babies. The souls, because the soul was traumatized, and they've come into that life carrying trauma from previous times. If you you get a child that's very shy and has got no reason to be fearful of others from their upbringing, that's a previous life issue.
Mm-hmm. So those are the ones that need the most love then.
I think so, but I mean, in other realities, they would like recognise that, and they would treat the child for that. So they would talk to the child about its previous lives from the age of like 2 or 3 in Earth years, and try and encourage that child to remember why they feel like this. And a lot of children will have reoccurring nightmares. Human children will have reoccurring nightmares, so the child doesn't know what the trauma is. It's just the adult thinks it's just a nightmare. It's not a nightmare. It is a memory of a previous trauma from a previous lifetime. And on other planets that are more advanced, they encourage the children to talk about previous incarnations, karma, all the laws of the universe are taught to children.
Yes.
But on Earth, then none of that happens. Apart from some sort of spiritual cultures, maybe, certain people to teach, certain countries to teach the children meditation, that's helpful. Well, never on Earth, they never really go deep enough to get to this healing of the soul. Humans can try and try and try to heal the body, heal the mind. They're not going to get anywhere. They're just putting chemicals. They're putting chemicals into the body to treat the mind, which is then damaging the body. What kind of cycle is that?
Yeah.
It's barbaric. So the only way humans are going to progress with the epidemic of mental illness that there is at the moment is to start doing therapy on the soul. And there's lots of people on Earth at the minute who know how to do all that. But they just get laughed at and looked at like they're insane. Or like they're kooky or spiritual or woo-woo or whatever silly terms humans would like to use. But it's just the way it is. So it might change, it depends on what all of you decide. Because there's free will on Earth, so could get better, could get worse, depends on what everyone decides together.
What lessons do you think Becky could take? Talk about Becky.
Well, there was an instance where at the start of the regression she wouldn't go through the door. She woke up, and that's the first time that's ever happened. And there was a great resistance to facing that anxiety that was behind that door and the mental illness. And I think how that relates to Becky in this life is that she really does get paranoid that everyone thinks she's nuts. Because she is an older soul, so she has memories in her DNA about healing and about how to activate psychic abilities, all sorts of things. So some of her hobbies and interests are really considered to be very unusual in the general public. So she really does worry that people think that she might be mad. She's not mad, she just has knowledge that she can remember that other people can't remember. All of you as humans have the ability to remember how to make yourself better, how to care for the soul, how to care for the body, how to care for the mind. It's all within you, you know it all. It's just you're not remembering it. So what Becky can take from this is that she needs to keep a sense of humour and just remember that she's not crazy. And the thing is, this is the problem, and she knows it really, not consciously but energetically. She can feel it, that other people's, on human earth, in human bodies, you've got a magnetic field around you. Your emotions are actually outside of your body, not in your body. They're all energetically around you in a field that's around your body, an energetic field. So two bodies in a room, Tom, Becky. My energetic field is interacting with yours right now. And you could probably feel my emotions then when I got upset during that regression.
Yeah.
Yeah? You could feel the sadness.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's say Becky is in a social situation where there is some people that she's chatting to and they're asking her about her hobbies and whatnot, and she says, oh, you know, I do this and that. Instantly, their energetic field, if they are thinking judgment, if they're judging her for what she does, if they're thinking in the back of their mind, oh, fucking hell, she's nuts, or if they're thinking, you know, like, what a stupid thing to do, you know, like disdain or, you know, whatever emotion, that emotion and those thoughts that they are feeling is projecting and interacting with Becky's magnetic field, which is why she doesn't like interacting with certain people. You'll find with Becky, she will only speak to certain people. Certain people she just avoids because she can feel their magnetic field. And she knows that their energy is going to have effect on hers. But what she needs to learn, because she needs to learn how to survive around these people. You can't just be a hermit and you can't just hide away from them, because the only way to wake them up is to keep telling your truth and keep projecting what you do, how you healed. You know, if you think about Becky in 2014, she had a severe depression, anxiety, multiple traumas in a short space of time. Also a lot of past soul shock and still inner energetic soul. A lot of lifetimes of trauma. Plus trauma in that life, plus loads of karma with loads of different souls that she was playing out, which was very painful. And, you know, multiple things, like she had a really bad relationship with food and eating disorder. She's had so much in one life, and most people don't even know about it because she's very secretive. Multiple panic attacks. You know, pretty much let's say for 4 years of Becky's life, she pretty much wanted to die every single day, right? And let's talk about that could really develop into a very, very, very severe mental illness. And everything that she's done to heal herself has worked, because she followed the clues that were deep inside of it. She knew she needed mental help at one point, so she went and had normal therapy on the mind, which is good. It's good for the mind. I would never say that traditional psychotherapy is bad. It just only works on the mind. Just doesn't work on the rest of the mind, body, soul. So, and then she followed the clues and went and learned about energetic healing. She followed the clues into a spirituality. She followed the clues with people that she was supposed to meet. She followed the clues with finding soul friends and soulmates that understood her. She followed the clues in taking time alone when she needed to be a hermit. She followed clue after clue after clue after clue, all coming from within and all coming from signs from the universe, signs, you know. Say she thought about, when she did a counselling course, she thought about going back to university to learn psychotherapy, and then she saw like clicked on Google or whatever and an advert for it came straight up and she went, that's a sign, I gotta do it. Yeah? So she shouldn't discredit herself so much, because she's got quite a lot of soul wounds. She's experienced a lot of lifetimes where people have thought she's crazy. That was one of the worst traumatic ones. But there has been multiple others where she's been considered schizophrenic. She's been considered mentally ill in many different lifetimes. And so it's a theme that her soul explores, you know, on the earthly planes. And what she needs to remember is, in this lifetime, she's done well and actually healed herself. You know, it was only last night at work, and Becky was on a night shift at work, and she was standing outside smoking a cigarette, feeling really good. Like, she's still got some addictions, let's say. She's not perfect. Right, so she's still got some healing to do. Still got some work to do, but she's been feeling so good lately, so joyful, peaceful, light, helping others, you know, interacting well with others. She's got the best social life she's ever had. She's got more money than she's ever had. And all of this was done off her own back. She could have gone down a path of suicide, mental illness, giving up, you know, but she didn't. She chose to follow the deep call from within the soul, followed the clues. She knew what she had to do to heal. She did it. Now she's at this point. So what she needs to remember is that, you know, some people sometimes lately have been calling her self-righteous or on a high horse, and at the end of the day, what humans have to remember is that as long as it's not coming from a place of ego, Becky only talks about healing and about spiritual things so much, not because she wants to tell people what to do, it's because she wants to help them. So she's not being bossy, she's trying to tell them how to heal and how, you know. People always come to Becky with their problem. And if she says, oh, I think you should start trying to meditate or something, because I think that would be the first step to like sorting out your thoughts. And people sometimes get annoyed at her and go, oh, she's so full of herself, she talks a load of shit with all that spiritual stuff. You know, people talk a lot behind her back.
Well, actually, she's been there and done that, and
all of her best friends that saw her at her lowest point, well, they think they saw her at her lowest point, they didn't. Because she kept all those lowest points away from people. All of those people that think that, you know, she's talking shit, which a lot of people do say about her. She needs to learn how to protect her energetic field so that their energy does not penetrate into hers. So that'll be the next step for her. There's a lot of ways you can do that. there's no reason for me to really talk about it now, because when she comes out of this and listens to this later, what she'll do is she'll follow the clues. Now I've given Becky's soul in this regression has given her a clue. Okay, Becky, you need to learn how to protect your energetic fields energetically, right? So now when she comes out of this regression, she can go and think, right, so who do I know in my life that knows about energetic fields? She's got multiple friends that know about this stuff.
Absolutely.
Google at her fingertips.
Yeah.
Spiritual healing groups online at her fingertips. And Reiki teachers. She can go and follow the clues to all of these people to find the information that she needs to protect her energetic field from other people's energy penetrating into her field. So that's the next step. That's all she has to do, because she does get a bit of anxiety about what people think and if people think they're crazy. Quite a bit lately she's been feeling that she might lose a job because there might be some people at work that she maybe can't trust, or that might think she's crazy. So yeah, this is something that is gonna just play out, this fear, for a while. Sometimes you have to accept in a human body that your anxiety is going to take a while to figure out. It can take years to play out.
How does Becky feel about it now?
I think when she comes out of this, she's going to feel amazing again. You know, it was only last night she was at work and I said she was outside smoking a cigarette, and one of the guys at work was like, "What is up with you? How are you so happy? Why are you so happy?" And she turns around and she says, "Oh, it's just my last night shift of 6, so I'm happy because I'm off for 3 days now." But that was a lie. That wasn't the truth. The truth is, she's so happy because she's worked damn hard to get there.
Yeah.
By coming, meeting you, Tom, doing all this. None of this has been easy. Let's face it. We've had tears tonight. We've relived multiple traumas through all these regressions we've done. She's found out about souls from this life that she's got karma with, souls that she's been married to loads of times.
Yes.
She's found out that her mum's been her own kid.
Yeah.
That's a lot for someone in a human body to take on, you know. None of this has been easy, you know. Psychotherapy is not easy, but it's good for the mind. Exercise and training your body is not easy, but it's good for your body. Eating well is not easy when we're surrounded by addictive things, but it's good for the body. You know, soul healing is not easy, because you're facing all your past traumas, all your emotions coming up. But it's worth it, and she has worked really hard, really hard. People will not... People, general Joe public, they'll never understand how hard she's worked. Never. Because she hasn't just healed this one lifetime of trauma. She how many now, Tom? 17 maybe. Lifetimes of trauma, plus other visions that she's had using her psychic abilities without you being there, Tom.
Yeah.
You know, which has been opened up through hypnotherapy. Okay, hypnotherapy will open up your intuition and your meditative capabilities and your abilities to see deep within inside your own soul, which is not always easy, because sometimes we find some trauma and dark things and dark emotions in our own souls. But once we see them, we recognise them, we can get them healed up and out. That's how you heal.
Yeah.
So, from this one, what she needs to remember... I know I've gone on for a while now, as usual. What she needs to remember is that she needs to have the self-confidence that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks, because she knows deep inside what she's done.
Yeah.
And she's achieved a hell of a lot. And so have a lot of her other friends that are on this path. You know, they should all really congratulate themselves, because they have the balls to do this healing that other people do not have the balls to do. And that's why every day she wakes up happy. Every day she wakes up feeling like the sun's shining down on her, and every day she feels like great things are going to happen. And that's why every day she'll walk to the shops and think about she'd like to get something, you know, like to treat herself to something, but you know, money and human concerns. And then she'll walk straight into the shop, and the thing that she wants and she's wanted for a while will be half price, and she can afford it.
I see, yeah.
Because she's in this high vibration. She's worked so hard to get into this high vibration, and now just good things keep happening. And people can turn around and say she's big-headed, or she's on a high horse, or, you know, she's deluded. They can say what they want.
She's earned it.
But she needs to have a bit more, you know, strength within herself to know that we got here, we finally made it. Because what Becky decided to do before this lifetime was to do the healing of the soul that had usually get done at source, which I talked about earlier.
You did.
To do that in a human body.
I see.
And not many people can do it, so it's quite a hard thing to do. There is thousands of people on the earth though at the minute that are all choosing this. And they're choosing it so that they can help teach other people how to heal, and that's why a lot of them are involved in the healing arts. Sound healing, hypnotherapy, Reiki, energetic healing. Some of them are like religious teachers or what have you. So all these people have chose to teach others how to heal the soul, because if we don't heal the soul, the earth's not going to go to a very nice place, which we spoke about earlier before this.
So, a way to take all the lessons, the learning, the healing, the wisdom, and the understanding, all of that. And you just feel that amazing feeling, you just feel it in your whole body now. She described it. Waking up, the sun shining, waking up, to think of that just beaming down on you, just warming every single cell, just make you feel absolutely wonderful. Absolutely amazing about yourself. And all the amazing stuff that you've achieved. I like to just come back slowly into the room, as and when you're ready, just bringing all of that healing, all that amazing positive feeling with you. Just integrating everything into.
Well, that was a weird one. Again, as usual.
Turn that off.